Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. The one Chairman Capo Daniel. I the one for bring on our daily briefing will be very important for give our people the media understand what's really happen for our struggle. So we will start today with video the way it come from our village, our people them for Boki people them, where there be attacked by one of these false Ambazonian groups will be led by Obi the White and Asu. They when I hear the name Asu, it sound like Asu Lucas, na relative, na cousin for Asu Lucas. At one time, Asu Lucas be one bring this group me they represent themselves as ADF. So I go tell now because this case it be very important for educate our population about how the state of our fighting it be on the ground and what it actually they go on the ground. This general, where they call it Obi the White, na general way it don't present itself also like ex-Ambazonian combatant for the DDR. You get this chief for, I think na chief for Bodam, where they call na chief Mange, where na gendarme. When I remember time we prep they go for Nigeria for gather our refugees and speak their mind, the only person will be oppose them and be threaten our officials them. Now this chief, if he come up for Yaoundé, he give Obi the White 12 million naira, semi-organized vigilante for fight against Ambazonian fighters. At that time, the community for inside, I think Ogesang too, they be feel saying a good thing because say Akojan if they terrorize our people them, because of the atrocity the way Akojan if they do when an Ambazonian general, the population for inside. Ogoseng too, they will accept this vigilante group. Then come for the money, they can set up vigilante group. Like many of the DDR boys them. Then start for fight Akojan, where it will be popular with our population. Eventually, Tawe they don't drive Akojan, then start not turn for begin they do the same thing where Akojan if they do them. They thief our people their cocoa, they interrupt cocoa trade where they come from Nigeria where we supposed to help with. Eventually, they start go begin attack the very Cameroon army. Kill them, bring their gun them for can sell their gun them back for Ambazonian fighter and for ground one. It can cause problems with the General Hyson, where na genuine Ambazonian fighter is separate with them. It start on begin attack this very boy them. I want to show on a video where our farmer they don't release them, where the boy they don't come General Obi White they don't come can attack our local population for thief people that cocoa them. It then leads to a big rally of our local population for Nigeria, our refugee them, for take action. But first, we're gonna watch the video where the commodity show the action of these boys. When I remember this same group for Obi the White and Asu, they don't misrepresent them or they don't try to present them like ADF boy them also. Because sometimes our group the way they for diaspora them be so desperate where they take people and meet and represent them where they don't even know their background. Just because person carry gun and then you want relevant or you want say you can give some lockdown meet and go begin force them down for people their throat, you go accept them, give them that legitimacy. They could then use that legitimacy for begin do other things in the way it turn our population against the struggle. So these false ADF guys na DDR guy them where they done the work for Cameroon government. This same boy them they attack Cameroon military also, take gun them. They also make Ambazonian video them. But at the same time they present themselves as vigilante, na DDR boy, na ADF. So na the kind pot of soup this way would they inside. When I watch the video.
Obi the White and he gang them for thieves. See person store as they don't finish everything. Finish everything. Mama Linga. Akoko Vanel. Bam man, this guy stock bad. Bam man, this guy stock bad. See people cocoa. As they don't come tip them all. See people cocoa. I don't want be that. See people cocoa. Lima Coco Vanel. Me Obi Waji. Lima Coco Vanel. See people cocoa. See village will come clear. On Saturday, we just they come out. Babe wa pale jigaji. Where that man they pass, come out, go show the that store. When I come see him, when I put those cocoa inside, may rain no fall am. See people sweat. See new generator as in spoil am. The generator one and go benamu. All the generator one la. See squad. Mu wa fo bi nga monel. Look at. En bang we se wanel gele ba jalanga ni. Look at. See village. Go come kill on Saturday as we just come out. Obi okungang me muoji. Leave am, go ahead, leave am. Okun men gang muoji. The generator wanel. Chomki obi o mani le. See destruction. The generator, new person generator. Oh, you know, chigeto le car because oyen, if you follow ambo jingaji, after you know feel the black leg, the generator one. Before I'm gonna waste. See something. Obi must pay for all of these things. Momo linga, brand new gen. Momo linga. Gonna destroy amu. Watch only. But tomorrow now, what you junk what you watch sell. Destroy everything.
So now General Heiss in a group where they make this video, they explain which way they happen for ground. Genuine Ambazonian use the way they protect their community. Then imagine this same guy Obi the White. Now the same person will be the fight the other Ambazonian general for the Ako Giant. Before Heiss can discover and send a fake man in decide for separate for you, we own picking them. So now imagine the confusion for our own picking them, our own community, where they just live their normal life, they just want to survive. How did they be confused? Who be who? Who they attack them? This is a state of the fighting on the ground that you should know. These are the reality that our people are facing. This guy Obi the White self, he need to work in our La Republic because he go kill La Republic, the military for take their gun, them cancel and not be for help anybody. But na seed when La Republic be planted in the name of vigilante. Now this will suffer for ground zero.
Property panel. See people properties. Which one? Look at. Video. Show. See people properties. See mixer. See new mixer. Wait, you know game money now, you know if you buy them. See them. This electronic, very expensive. See them. Anytime I come see person store, come see fridge. See person new speaker. See them. Leave man see property. The car enjoy cheaper.
The effect of this war, it will linger for many generations. It get the potential for completely wipe out Ambazonia as we know it, if we do not end the war of madness now. Because now they dox them of the war, the benefit of the war, and now they dox them of the war, they get interest for me this war continue. Unfortunately, our internal dynamic need the help of our population for be able to move forward. They will continue for the fight and for power. They do their own things them, while our population then be left on their own. Nobody know they for speak for their own interests. And the interest for our people, we PRAP is stand for champion their cause, for resolve this problem and put an end to this madness and the attack from both sides and save our people for being held hostage by the rock and the hard place.
Spoil this one. If you be spoil this my seed there, if you see him, see person new speaker. See wickedness.
So our population for inside Baswa, when for the way the Obi White they don't rally themselves, they don't drive Obi the White, then drive a family member the way they stay for a house a day. I want to show now the population. So now see that two women the way they ran hold on for front. Now the Obi the White in Mamidat, and then the woman for Asu, where population for inside Bashwa, they don't catch them. They don't go for a house for go drive the soldier. They no see them, they don't drive their family member, they meet them come up for inside Bashua community for Nigeria, for places where refugee then they. Now then this they don't pack them, send them, meet them go. Now the same population where they don't drive, where they be catch Ako giant. Now our refugee them, now genuine Ambazonian refugee them, where they run because Cameroon government it drive them for their house, them burn their villages them, then come for seek refugee status for Nigeria and protection. They don't catch Ambazonian General Ako giant go Giam for Nigeria army. They end up Giam for Cameroon army, they don't kill it. Now they don't go pursue Obi White and Asu, drive them for their community. So na see say our genuine Ambazonian people, they suffer problem for war where Cameroon is starting. So they attack, they suffer attack from all sides. As we don't see for this video, they suffer attack for all sides. So I will give una the international researcher their conclusion, where it shows say the fighting for Ambazonia within these past 2 years, it done lost its legitimacy because our fighter them, they attack our own population 3 times more than the Cameroon military and other forces them. So they done lost their legitimacy. It means that before we fit talk so we fight for self-defense, but now we cannot make a case that we are fighting for self-defense because you cannot be defending yourself when you are the main perpetrator of violence against your own people. That argument do no longer exist. The legitimacy of the fight it done already be lost. Now why that we wanna see say things that they go the way they go. I have actually try it will link act of crimes against humanity to our struggle and that would destroy the struggle. I go on for mention for now because as we lead this process for bring Ambazonian leaders for Canada here may go come to a common position for make a proper offer and seek international endorsement for Cameroon. The one now our own approach. Other groups then get the right for go do their own approach. Other groups then get the right for no participate. But we will continue to inform everybody may enjoy this initiative because it is the right thing to do for our people. As we are taking this lead, naturally, all the other Ambazonian groups then, because they run the focus for fight now for their group, their personality, and their own personal agenda, it will rally them together. Also, the forces of good will rally, the forces of evil will rally because this is a spiritual battle. When I remember time when Siseko it be the lead, we'll go for Nigeria, we'll go create the IG, make Siseko as the head or the president of the IG. He rally all the other group them where they know if he come together, they know if he see eye to eye together. Then go make conference for America. Ayabacho, Akwanga, and all them. Princess Harriet. When we see how they become united, they become united in their hatred for Siseko Ayoktabi, united in their jealousy against the IG. There is nothing that rally a suffering people, because when we suffer oppression, we suffer from also the toxic for save a slave is the greatest danger because a drowning person can even drag a snake down. He can drag somebody who wants to help you down the water. So we get this wicked black man syndrome where it will always manifest itself. So we go see strong unity amongst people the way they want to fight our leadership and for fight the solution. They go even become more closer, even for aligning themselves with those within the regime where they fight for maintain this war because they benefit for this war. So the wickedness and anger for Ambazonians against anybody who is leading something that is successful will always appear. So expect to see that in the coming days. But we are resolved to work on truth, statistics, and best represent the interests of the vast majority of Ambazonians who stand with us. The vast majority of our people want peace. They want an end to the fighting. They want freedom and independence as well, but they don't want the fighting anymore. They want to put an end to it, and we are going to do that with a just and fair solution for our people. It may surprise many of you to understand this. All groups in Ground Zero that you saw them manifesting on 1st of October, all of them, through their representative that we have helped them to organize on Ground Zero, are in direct negotiation and dialogue with Cameroon government. This may be a shocker to you, and many Ambazonian leaders, they are not even aware of this issue. The meetings that have been happening have also been happening with the forces on the ground. There have been direct communication with the forces on down on negotiation on the way forward. It is up to our people. You can allow Cameroon government to engage with unprepared people who cannot even articulate what they want, or we can come together behind a concrete proposal that is well researched, well written, that guarantees and protects the right of our people and guarantees a pathway for us to have independence. Or you can let Cameroon defeat us. But for us in PRAP and our partners within Ambazonia, our communal leaders, we are determined to fight for the public interest. Our success will be as much as the dynamic we have amongst us. The worst scenario is that we lost. The best scenario is that we win. But for sure, we are going to go through. It will be as good as the people that comes and as bad as the people who do not come. But it will happen. The bus have left the station. The train have left the station. Those who want to join are welcome to join. Those who do not want, they should continue their path. Those who think liberation by force is attainable, let them continue. Go ahead. It's a free war, but we all have equal right of organization and representation. Like I said, this is a battle between evil and good. Those with the good are the vast silent majority, and we represent them, we speak for them. So we'll continue to engage with you people. I'll be putting out a comprehensive report about our mission to the 78th session of the United Nations, our accomplishment and what we set forth to accomplish as we prepare to go to the United Nations in November. We have already been invited for the United Nations session in Geneva that will take place in November. I also want to mention that there is a fake news that is going viral all across Africa that was generated by the TV station of Sako Ikome that claimed that Paul Biya is dead. That is a lie. Paul Biya is sick. He's a 91-year-old person. At that age, he should be sick. He's getting closer to his grave normally like anybody. If Paul Biya was to die today, it would be the greatest loss for Ambazonia. Reason being that because he's a dictator and somebody who is not being loved by the world, he stands at a unique place to solve this war. That's why I call him Manjunga. If Paul Biya die and Cameroon have a new president, the war will tend to give that new president opportunity to stay during the transition period, and they will have no pressure on them to solve this war. So it will even put our agenda backward. It is better for Ambazonia for Paul Biya to be alive and solve this problem. That is why we had given ourselves 1 year for the project and our roadmap to have a secure and negotiated deal for our people with La République du Cameroon. Those who sign up to this program, we advocate for them to be able to be released from prison, return back home through an assisted program, and also to secure the future of our territory through devolution that guarantees a pathway for us to have independence. For those who are keen about referendum, it also include a clause for the agreement for a referendum within 6 years after the implementation of this devolution. So it is a best option for our people. This alternative means to independence that we have brought, that we demand for devolution, is the best way forward to our people. So I'll leave you with the video of the researchers so that you can see for yourself the assessment of professional researchers about the legitimacy of our fighting on ground zero. And before when I watch this presentation from these researchers, I want to give you one very important thing. Just 2 days ago for Haiti, criminal gangs the way they don't take over that country. For them, they need to fight now for independence. Then a similar evolution for what will happen for Ambazonia. These criminal cartels, they don't go kill 70 people of their own innocent civilian. Why? Because they want to secure their place where they collect people their money, they collect liberation tax, they collect money for people that store, for motor they pass. That area, then it be impossible for police them for even control them. If no be say I be dan stand my ground for fight against our own excesses dem, we for dan see say our own soldiers dem for dan dey commit such atrocity dem for inside Ambazonia. If no be say we dan stand for fight am, say we go fight am, we go stop the legitimacy wey dey give blank check wey dey end up for attack our own people, excessive lockdown. If we no be dan focus for fight am, na the same future go await we. So it show the urgency for our people them for come together, make we end this war of shame. We don't accomplish a lot. We don't make Cameroon it don't surrender, accept say there is a problem and we are a unique people based on our history. So make we now watch the international researcher their conclusion. These are facts. Numbers don't lie. Researchers don't lie.
In this graph, we're seeing not only abductions, but also physical violence, those attacks, and in more recent years, the use of sort of crude explosives, a lot of times in the form of IEDs. So as you can see on the left of the graph, around 2017 until 2019, civilian targeting was actually higher by state forces, and this sort of generated the legitimacy of a lot of separatist fighters as sort of defenders of civilian populations and a legitimate alternative to the violence that many civilians were experiencing from the state from that time. However, in 2020, this changed, and we saw separatist militias targeting civilians at least in equal proportion to state forces, and this sort of aligns with what Nello was talking about, where we saw this rise in kidnapping. We saw more and more violence carried out by separatists themselves against civilian populations, and in turn diminishing their credibility to the diaspora, limiting the funding that the diaspora was willing to give. And then in the last few years, we've seen really an exponential rise in separatist violence, where the violence against civilians that has been carried out by state forces has remained relatively consistent. It's been, just escalating rather rapidly by separatist fighters, especially as we see them fragment, competing for smaller and smaller territory and areas of influence. The civilians that we see affected most largely are those that are part of various labor groups, those that own businesses, that are involved in different industries or trade unions. And a lot of this is because the separatist fighters tend to use sort of ghost town or lockdown type tactics in order to limit any commercial activity going on in various cities, oftentimes also limiting things like education. But those that violate these ghost town tactics end up being targeted by separatist fighters. There's a number of other groups that we sort of a shift of the violence towards more rural areas. So separatist fighters seem to be moving their tactics and basing themselves in less populated areas. And I think this also feeds into this general argument that they've lost legitimacy amongst many civilians in the Anglophone region, that in the initial stages of the conflict, they were able to often base themselves within more populated areas with civilian support. Sometimes this led to reprisals by the state amongst separatist fighters themselves, but also civilian populations that were seen or perceived as supporting the separatists. However, as they've lost legitimacy, they've had to move out of the drop in popularity amongst the separatist movement that initially we saw support from urban areas, from the educated parts of the Anglophone population, the teachers and judges, lawyers, especially, who were widely involved in the demonstration movement from the start, and the ability for separatists to live in more urban areas and in major towns. Of course, the military also had some tactical advantages to pushing them out over the course of kind of 2018, especially until 2020, when we started seeing the shift towards more rural areas. And that's when we started seeing violence move into these more rural, mountainous, forested areas. And along with the inability of separatists to kind of live among civilian populations as they once did, we also had military kind of having the upper hand tactically in those areas, and separatists then relocating to more rural areas for those reasons.